On this episode of Performance TV, Machinist Mate demonstrates their arsenal of revolutionary cleaning products, spanning from headlight restoration to atomic glue to removing pesky bug splatter, as well as a few surprises. All of this and more next on Performance TV.
Welcome to this week's edition of Performance TV. Now, whether you have a classic car, a race car, an everyday driver, you know what? Mother Nature and her elements are not good too. All different types of surfaces, metal, plastic, and so much more. And that's why we brought in Ed with Machinist Mate, because Ed, you guys have all different kinds of products, and I see a couple right here that are going to help us, first of all, see a whole lot more clearly.
That's right. We have a headlight restoration kit that will help with very damaged headlights, whether they're pitted like this headlight here, or they're just yellowed like this one. You know,
and something, we have the headlights out, but if we wanted to use the products, we wouldn't have to take it out of the vehicle.
Correct. Yeah, it's actually much easier to work on in the vehicle because you're holding it. You just want to mask off the vehicle so that you don't get product on it, flung on the vehicle and so on.
So we have everything that we need that's going to come in our little kit. I see you have a couple of different sandpapers. This one's in pretty bad shape, but it doesn't feel like it's pitted.
Right, yeah, you can see here on this one had pitting on it, so we had to actually sand this section and then buff it. But I think this one here we took right out of the junkyard. I think we can do this one with just the buffer. And let's
go ahead and see how this is done. Now I'm gonna hold this like this for you.
So we have our buff ball here, and we'll use our polish. This comes in the kit.
And I see you're applying it directly to the surface.
A small amount of the polish.
So you always want to put it on the surface and not on this. That way you don't end up having too much and slinging it everywhere. Wow, that's just making a big difference in with no sandpaper, no anything.
And you can see very quickly that product will take the yellowing right back off of there. Let's
go ahead and just wipe it off. That makes a huge difference. And so quick, too, because you're not doing it by hand. And this is something else that Machinist Mate offers would be the ball.
Right, these are our buff balls. These are not made of foam so that they last a very long time. This one is our 5-inch, so this would be used for large projects like this. This is a small one that would be used for wheels.
Wheels and stuff like that. And speaking of wheels, we think metal. And you also have some polish and something very similar to what we're going to find in our headlight kit?
Correct. Everyone's got problems with chrome and that type of stuff, stainless steel corroding or getting dirty. Much like this Thunderbird here, you can see that it's,
yeah, Mother Nature's done a toll on that one.
Exactly. So this product here will work again on cleaning this. So we take a spot here, just apply the product.
And again, you're putting it on the actual surface itself, not on your applicator.
And you can clean this by hand, but we're going to be a little lazy today.
Okay.
And this product has a protectant in it that will help remove corrosion for about 6 months.
After cleaning. Yeah, so you can do this once. It's not like something you got to do every week.
Right. You can see on this particular piece, this piece is very, very heavily damaged, very heavily corroded. It'll take a little bit extra work, but you can see what that product's doing to it right there.
Just wipe that off.
So just that quickly, it has restored that product down to the shine.
Well, you know what? This is just a couple of the different things that Machinist Mate has to offer. And when we take a look over here at this beautiful car, well, looks like we have some damage right here. When we come back, we're going to show you how Machinist Mate has a product that can fix this in minutes. Up next, here on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by EvapoRust, super safe rust remover. Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. MRT Performance for performance car parts and servicing. And by Dustless Blasting. It's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Performance TV. When we left you last time, Kathy and Ed were showing us some of his products. He's got a lot of good ones. This one you're going to want to see.
This is a Tomic Glue. It's a anaerobic glue. It's similar to super glue with the exception that when it is applied, it doesn't dry. You can see that's still wet. It'll only cure when oxygen is taken away. This is an expander that's already cured.
Just like that.
So in a case of like this is vinyl. We put just a drop on here, put those two pieces together, and just like that, they are.
It's as tight as you can get it. Huh. Yeah, I saw you do this earlier on this. So this is like a rubber.
It's an O-ring.
O-ring. And just one little spot. You can't use too much.
Right, you don't want to use too much. It actually works better if you use very, very little. So that's it.
And anaerobic, that just means that if there's no oxygen.
It cures in the absence of oxygen, so it won't cure until you actually put it together. Now that piece there is just that quickly bonded together, and if you pull on that,
I didn't
you
even
can
do
really
a good
pull
job
on
with
it.
it. And it's on there, man.
So,
oh, that is killer.
So this can be used on a wide variety of products and materials. Here we go from steel to rubber to wood. In this particular case, we have a piece of plastic pipe that we've put a hole in. We're going to fix that. We put the glue in. Then we're going to put our expander in. A little bit more glue. And just this quickly, it is solving this problem. And this is good up to 5,000 PSI. You can see that is, so we could continue to fill that until it's like this.
So let's see how we're actually going to use this on our car.
Okay. Over here we have some fiberglass damage on the front of this Ultima. So what we're going to do is just take a piece of tape. Normally to repair this would take a lot of time and effort. You're simply going to apply the glue, and then we're going to apply the expander.
And our expander, it fills our gap and it cuts off the oxygen.
Correct.
So a little glue, a little expander until we fill up our gap. And we're not just filling up our gap, but we're seizing that fiberglass together. And it's
like
so
that.
tough, you can actually tap and die this. If you had a bolt break or, it's really, really strong.
This is good up to about 5,000 PSI and about 700 degrees. And you can see we're just filling this in, and unfortunately, because of the way the angle we're on, we actually have to overfill this.
And we're not going to have to wait for it to dry. Doing fiberglass repair like this, you got to
No,
open
just
it up
that quickly, this is done.
it's already set.
Now we can take this off and take a file.
And immediately start on it. So now that I've got my product open, I'm going to want to put that back in the fridge and it'll last for a year.
That's correct.
Because all the other stuff, it'll just dry. And you'll lose all your time and all your money. So I'm at my car show, if somebody dinks up my car, I'm going to be able to fix it in 5 seconds or less.
This could be used with sandpaper or a die grinder.
Well, that's really killer. You stay tuned. We'll be back with more Performance TV and back with more products.
Welcome to the EvapoRust Tip of the Week. We've been answering a lot of commonly asked questions that we get, and one of them is, how does vinegar work compared to EvapoRust? Vinegar is cheap, and, well, is it effective, David?
Well, we get that question a lot, and it would seem like vinegar would be a great way to remove rust because it's commonly used, it's in your kitchen, it's relatively inexpensive on the front end, but vinegar is an acid. It's 5% acetic acid. And like acids, it causes a lot of problems.
It does stink, I'll tell you that much.
It does smell bad. We've got this tub with vinegar in it. Here's 2 horns, identical, came off the same car. This one we did with Evapor Rust, and you can see everything is completely derusted and completely fine. Here's the other one, and we're gonna just set it into the vinegar for a little bit, and then we're gonna look at this part that we've done previously. This is an old carburetor, and it's got pot metal and aluminum and copper and rust. And you can see the rust is not gone yet, but already the pot metal is falling apart.
Yeah.
It eats right into it. You can see it's pretty well etched in every area.
Yeah, yeah.
But
If you do this method, isn't it just a one-time use as well?
it is.
Okay.
And so you've got a $3 one-time use, or you've got a $20 multi-time use.
Okay.
So this is actually a better value. It's safer. It smells way better.
Yeah. Doesn't have any fumes or smells, Evapor Rust?
No. And let's check on this. It's only been in there a few seconds, but you can already see it's
Yeah.
starting to eat right into this metal.
It really is.
So save your time, your money, your effort. Use Evapor Rust. Use your vinegar for making pickles.
If you have any other questions, visit our website at evaporrust.com.
Performance TV coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. When we left you, Ed from Machinist Mate was showing us how to use the Tomic Glue and expander to repair this fiberglass in under 5 minutes. A repair that is strong, impervious to water, oil, and brake fluid. He has even more products with us. Kathy, what else do we have?
Yeah, Dave, Machinist Mate has all kinds of fantastic products, and Ed, one that I can definitely use around the shop a lot, and that would be your ultimate degreaser. We got a pretty greasy piece right here.
Yeah, we brought this piece of transmission case with us. We're just going to spray that a little bit with our ultimate degreaser and see how effective this is at trying
Trying to get that right off.
to break that grease and oil down.
Oh yeah, look, he's just picking it right up.
That'll continue working at that case.
Is this something you would normally need to scrub, or just depending on what type
It really
of...
depends. I mean, this has been in a junkyard, and it's pretty heavily corroded, or pretty heavily greased up and nasty. It works better if you let it sit a little bit.
Sure.
But you can see that's taking that.
Taking that
and
right
this
down.
is really hard baked on stuff. I can't even get at it with my fingernail to get it off, but it is removing it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, something else that's really hard to get off, and we do have, bathrooms and restrooms and things like that around the shop, and that would be a tub and tile cleaner. Get a lot of soap mildew, things like that, and also use it in our race trailers and our bathrooms and things like that. But a product that Machinist Mate is really well known for, and it's where you guys got your start, is the Splat Bug Remover.
That's correct. Splat Bug Remover is an all-natural product. It's 100% biodegradable and it's safe on any surface. You can even spray it on your skin and it won't do any harm. When you put it on a car, you want to spray it on and you want to wait a minute or so. What it does is the bugs have to be dry and it soaks into the bug.
Okay.
It releases the protein that causes the bug to stick,
To
so
be
it wipes
sticky.
right off.
Okay.
But it's such a safe product, it won't even take the wax off your car.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's not something that, you're used to, but that's why this stuff has been so popular and taken everything off, and all the different cleaners that we have here, and something else that we deal with out on the road is picking up tar and everything else, and you have another fantastic product.
Yeah, we have a tar and tree sap remover that works incredibly well. This is a spray, but I'm going to spray just a little bit in this cap just to show you how effective it is. This is spray paint from a rattle can that we've put on there, and with just a drop, you can see it'll take that right back off the car without any damage to the car itself.
To the paint that you want to keep on the car, absolutely.
And here we go with another drop. This is dried on tar.
Yeah, and I watched you do this all earlier today, too.
We put this on the car earlier, and you can see with very little effort, it removes that tar right back off the car.
And it's removing the tar, but it's not messing with your skin or anything like that.
Correct.
Just like a lot of your other products.
This is a citrus-based product with a little bit of petroleum in it, but that's very effective to take tar, tree sap, sticker residue,
Rubber.
glue, anything, rubber. Race cars, racers use it a lot to take the rubber off the cars.
Hey, Dave, so how's the Splat Bug Remover working?
Well, I let it soak in for a little bit, and these guys are coming right on off of there. It's amazing. It'll take the bugs off, but it'll leave your wax on. Loving that.
Well, man, you definitely can't go wrong with that, and you can't go wrong with the type of guarantee that Machinist Made offers.
That's correct. We're very proud of our products. We won't represent anything that doesn't work exactly the way we represent or we say. And we back that up with a 100% money-back guarantee. We even pay the shipping back if you're not satisfied for any reason whatsoever.
Wow, how can you beat that? I'll tell you what, all of these products and so many more from Machinist Made, and we'll have even more for you just minutes away here on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Z-Max, tested, trusted performance. Machinist Made, dedicated to bringing new revolutionary cleaning products to the market. Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
This week on the Z-Max Micro Lubricant Minute, Tommy, we're talking new vehicles and we're talking used vehicles.
That's right. It's one of the misconceptions of Z-Max is you got a car, it's 200,000 miles, it's running a little rough, throw some Z-Max in it. Well, that's not necessarily true. It is true.
Right.
But if you got a brand new vehicle, why not keep it running new? Don't allow the carbon buildup, all of the varnish and deposits to build up in the engine, because Z-Max is a metal treatment. It's not going to change the oils or the fuel.
Right.
It's going to treat the metal, make it a slicker surface so it operates smoothly, not going to have those buildups, and you're going to keep that new vehicle running smooth.
That's right. It doesn't matter what oils you're using. It doesn't matter what transmission fluid you have. It doesn't matter what octane fuel you're using, because we talk about using Z-Max in the engine, the transmission, in the fuel.
Gearbox. It doesn't matter.
It's not an additive. So it's not changing anything that's great about those products that you're using. It's just using those to get to the metal.
That's right. In that old car, you've got a lot of buildup. It's running rough. It's startup. It's missing. Z-Max is going to clean that engine. It's going to get rid of the deposits. It's going to make that surface a lot smoother and not allow it to build up.
All right. Or like back to the brand new vehicle again, just go ahead and start off with Z-Max to start with. Now, Z-Max, say for the engine, use it about every time you change your oil, every 6 months or 6,000 miles, whichever comes first. Your fuel, use it about the same. And for your transmission, say like once a year. You want to find out more about what Z-Max can do for you? All you have to do is hop on their website at zmax.com. Welcome back to Performance TV as we continue our visit with Ed from Machinist Made. And Ed, you've brought all kinds of products today to address different issues that we may have with one thing or another. And something we all deal a lot with projects is rust. We've had our friends in here from Evapo-Rust. They have a fantastic product that shows us how to get rid of rust completely. But what about a project we have like back here that we may have some rust we can't get to?
Well, we have Russ Freeze, which is a very unique product. It's very thin, it's got the consistency of water, and it allows you to get into those nooks and crannies, such as on this Mustang, down at all these pinch welds and all the folded points that you could normally not get into. This product will actually go right in there.
And although it looks like a very small amount, it's a two-part system. This spreads out very, very thin. And something I want to point out here, this is untreated. This is one coat. We have two coats, but my favorite thing about the Rust Freeze is this side has been coated. This side was not, but we see it over here, Ed.
Yes, the product actually has the ability to have a wicking action through the corrosion itself. Whether it's aluminum or steel, it'll actually wick through it and travel several inches on its own. So when you're into these places here, the product will actually wick up under and get into those places that you have no other way to get to.
You know, and as I look across the table here, this is not the way it came from the factory. This is not zebra.
No. This is a piece that we pulled out of the junkyard, and we have used our plastic vinyl leather conditioner. This is a product that restores the essential minerals and oils back into the plastic to protect it, as well as has a UV protectant. And here you can see this is very easy to apply. Simply wipe it on, and that will restore that back
Actually absorbs into.
It absorbs into it, and it will restore the coloring back to that.
And that's what we're seeing here and why this has been treated.
Right.
This was treated a couple of weeks ago, not treated where we're seeing the lighter areas. And like you said, it does have a UV protectant in it, so it will help going down the road.
Right, yep. And you can see here, just on this old piece that hasn't been cleaned or anything, it restores that back as well.
Wow, so we have this. Well, you also have a carnauba wax as well.
This is 100% pure carnauba wax. This can be put on at in any temperature, bright sun or shade. You simply wipe it on. You don't have to wait for it to dry. You wipe it on and then you wipe it off. One thing that's important about when waxing a vehicle is to always go with the direction of the vehicle,
Sure.
not do swirls, because you'll put micro scratches into the.
Well, before we even get to the wax, we need to be able to wash it. And what in the world is this?
Well, this is a chamois. It's a synthetic chamois. This one here is about 25 years old. Here's a brand new one.
Okay.
And as you can see, this is dry. The reason we've let this dry out is to show you how easily and the durability of this product. Just putting this in water, we can restore this back to
Right back
like
to
a new
this.
one.
And this is something, you know, to dry the car with. You can even dry your dogs with this if you wanted to, because it's so absorbent.
I suppose you could.
Yes, you can definitely tell.
We have a lot of people that actually buy these for when they're wandering around car shows and stuff for coolers
Use them to
to keep themselves
stick it
cool.
down in the ice water. They got multiple
But
uses.
you can see how that came right back to be just like this, even though that's 25 years old.
Yeah, can
Very
hardly-
durable product, lasts a long time, and they are really the best chamois I've ever seen.
Well, you know, we need to have some water and that type of thing. And this has got to be one of the coolest buckets I have ever seen. Check that out.
That's a silicone bucket that lasts a very long time, and they work very well. You throw them in the trunk of the car, so you can have your bucket while you're at the car show.
I absolutely love it. All of these great products that you have brought in and given us demonstrations on today, Ed, really appreciate it. If you want to find out more about any of these and even more products that they have, just hop on their website at machinistmate.com. And hey, that's all we have time for this week. See you next time around here on Performance TV. It's really cool.